We are back in the motherfucking house.
You was hype about that shit, wasn't you?
I just wanted the curse to kick this shit off.
Okay.
I had some pent up energy and shit. Like
I kind of felt.
All right, hold on. Before because we can, man, we be going, don't we?
Yeah,
we got a guest on the show,
you're right.
and nobody even know because the camera ain't cut to him.
He's like family for us, so this was
He
like
is.
talking to your cousin.
But we still gotta respect
You right,
like how the
you right,
streets
you right.
view this nigga. Like the nigga been around, like comic view type
Cousin.
shit. You know what I mean? We gotta do that.
You're right. I'm sorry.
Go ahead, Ryan. Hit him with it, bro.
So let me get a drum roll.
Mine was a little off. Just a tad.
Nigga, I'm waiting for the thing.
Coming to the show.
There we go.
Comedian.
Okay.
Actor.
Uh-huh.
Writer.
What?
Vegan. No, I don't know if he's vegan. I don't know if he's vegan.
I didn't need that. I was about to say, I need to ask us a recipe. Okay.
Bobby J, man.
We back, baby.
Bobby.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The
Are
Bobby
you
J.
vegan?
Nah, man. I'm
You
not
ain't
vegan. No,
You ain't went that route yet.
no, I haven't never went vegan. Close to vegetarian. I've been.
Yeah.
You know, I do that. Like I do it all the time because when we do a lot of eating and drinking on the weekends, and then I detox and stuff like that. You know, I'm over 40 now, so
The green smoothies.
Yeah.
Look at that.
Yeah,
I was
absolutely.
joking, but he was.
I need to start taking notes. She trying to get us to eat a little bit healthier. I really do need to. That woman over there, she needs to be taught some lessons on how to feed a man, or how to keep.
Yeah.
I need to write a book on like geared towards the ladies on how to keep your man alive longer. You know what I mean?
There you go.
All types of little interesting tidbits and shit in there to keep your man alive.
Unless the insurance policy is high.
Now
okay?
see, I cut that shit right.
Grease. Anything fattening,
Extra flour
alcohol,
and shit.
bread, much bread.
Motherfucker putting way too much salt in your shit
That
for
nigga,
no
Ryan,
reason.
that nigga Ryan gonna be like Phil, Uncle Phil off of the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air when they kept feeding them tacos.
I gotta call Tasha and be like, did you use all that seasoning salt on? Did you use the seasoning salt?
Something's going on. That's all I
She
gotta
make
say.
this nigga a platter right out the oven. Like, who else is eating here today?
You know what?
Ryan eating on his shit for 3 days.
Dude, if you come to our house, nobody's there. We live by our fucking self. No nieces, no nephews, no kids. And if she fucking cook, you gonna come in like, who y'all expecting? Like, it don't even make sense.
Tasha don't know no measurements for nothing else.
Motherfucker only know how to cook for 12. That's it.
Tasha be like, here, babe.
So them big mama meals. Man, huh?
Tasha don't play.
Bro, she'll fuck around. And then she won't eat shit. That's the dumb part. Like, bro, it's a
Easy.
setup. She trying to take my ass out. Who cooks all this food and then don't even eat none of
You know
that?
what I'm saying?
Motherfucker eat a salad after you fucking prepared all that bullshit.
500,000? Or is it
Calories?
No, for the insurance policy. Or is it $1 million?
It's coming.
Dude.
I thought you talking about the calories.
No, all I want is like 10,000.
Bobby
I
J.
think 10,000
10?
for support. You know what I mean?
What's 10,000 for?
That's for me.
Get on her ass, bro.
Oh,
For me, for part of the money.
you
know what I'm
so
saying?
you in support of him? Like,
I mean, hey, I want him around as long as possible. But if something happens, you know what I'm
you just
saying?
want 10.
I just want
10,000 out of
10,
it.
and I think that's pretty good because that's lowballing myself. You know what I'm saying?
Your life ain't worth
That's-
that, right?
Niggas that got killed for $3,000 and a couple of noodles. Okay,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like I put some extra money on.
They was in the joint, though. You in the free world.
Right.
You right.
Right.
You right. I'm sorry. Talk about the hood shit. You right. My bad. Let me back up.
Man, look.
I got something interesting to come up with.
Okay.
I mean, to talk about. I saw this video where I think everybody saw it now. The restaurant owner in Dallas, Texas, came and cursed out a bunch of women who was twerking in a restaurant.
I'm so glad we're talking about that.
Now, I went live and talked about this shit earlier, but my views on it was, like, I don't understand, like, how does twerking kick off in a restaurant? Like, could you see it happening organically? Like, what kind of music do you have to play? Because I would think in a restaurant you would want, like, elevator music, some Barry Manilow or something. Some shit you can focus on what you're doing. You know what I mean?
So if you take the urban experience and you try to mesh it with the upscaleness, so we don't have to fit into the white standard, it makes sense. Like, okay, we want to listen to hip hop music. Me and her, we went into Des Moines, Iowa. It's called Eggs and Jam, and it's a hip hop restaurant, dope. But it's a lot of white people in there too. But we was there a few weeks ago, and nobody's twerking, and they playing all the hits. They playing 2 Live Crew. They playing whatever. You know what I'm saying?
Shit.
So it's about home training at that point, because we know the backstory now. It took a little minute because everybody jumped on the headline with the video, like, oh, it was how he said it and XYZ. But the reality was he talked to them a few times. They showed the video of him talking to the table and stuff like that. And then it got out of hand. It was like, hey, this is my stuff. What if you put $250,000 into a business and then people twerking on your stuff? And you told them it's going to eventually snowball. So we saw the snowball part.
Right.
And of course, nobody cares about the truth in the whole story, because it's more entertaining to just jump on whatever it is at that moment. Yeah, absolutely. So no, I saw it like most people. Well, I don't know how most people saw it, but a lot of people, it was like honestly split down the middle.
Yeah. It was very split.
Yeah.
It was 50-50.
So because you had the twerk fans, and then you had the people because I made my stance clear. That's why I went live, because when you make a post, people don't really know what you're saying. They look at the words and then they say, you know what I mean? I was like, this is my stance. I love twerk, but not when I'm eating.
Right.
I don't want to be in an environment where I'm eating and like booties is moving around. Like,
because you want to be
droplets is in the air. Like I said in the video, booty droplets is real. I don't want that shit on my motherfucking spaghetti.
The virus is still alive.
The virus is still alive. An N95 will not protect you from fucking booty droplets.
And then you're not wearing it while you're eating. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So took it off.
So did anybody see it the other way?
Me personally, I did.
Oh, here we
because
go. This is great.
I didn't, like,
this is about to be good.
When I went to Atlanta, I just seen a whole different lifestyle that I was just like amazed about. Yeah. Like, we're eating brunch, and motherfucker they got a real like MC in there, like hyping everybody up, and we are kicking it at brunch. Like, I'm eating my eggs and waffles and shit, and my chicken, and I just see a group of table of girls that just came in, and they twerking, everybody twerking, everybody's like, hey, I took a picture with the goddamn MC. Like, we had a good ass time. We left. We went to another spot. They was doing the same thing up at the other spot. Yeah. So I don't know if that's just because of the culture. When I first initially seen the video, I thought that was like the cultural thing. Like, everybody was probably in Atlanta turning up and blah, 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 right? But I didn't know the backstory until you just said it. Yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't know that he came to the table a few times. It was like
3 tables he came to.
Damn.
So the thing is it was in Texas, actually. Okay. In Dallas. Mm-hmm. And it didn't look like that environment, but he did implement a DJ.
Yeah.
And when we look at environments, like we went to the spot today, Snooze on the Westport. We finally got in there today, and they play music, but it wasn't like you was jamming in there. Right. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, we like if you take how we view things, like let's take Karen culture, for example. All those Karens and them white women going in places and doing what the hell they wanted to do. And we quick to criticize them. And then you think, well, because hip hop music is playing, now all of a sudden I'm going to lose my home training. And you can't criticize that. It's the same thing. It's this man's business. You jumping on the couch, have people, we know furniture from Rent-A-Center. Imagine getting on that. So picture commercial furniture at a restaurant. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't just do that. So I saw it because the dude had already, like, I just saw it from a perspective of if I'm a business owner and you in my establishment and I told you it's not going to be nice. And then I made the example of like picture and what I thought it was. We talked about this before. It was because it was a black man. Mm-hmm. When the image of a black man raising his voice just strikes fear in a lot of people.
Scares the shit out of people.
And then the other problem, it was black women on the other end. That there enough is enough to spark outrage.
Can't yell at a black woman.
And because if
not many.
But guess what? Picture if it was flipped and it was a black woman owning her business and it was dudes
they
in
would
there
have been
sagging their pants, and she stopped the music and was like, hey, I'm trying to run a respectable business here and you niggas need to pull y'all pants up, and if y'all don't like it here, y'all get the fuck out. And women would have been like, because that's hard enough for black women already and all this. It would have been the same. So you got to have that same energy, and we don't have the same energy because responsibility comes and accountability comes with it. So I look at it that way.
That was a good point because black women would stand up. They don't no matter how wrong that motherfucker would have been.
I say be careful, nigga.
She could have called this nigga all kinds of bitches.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Bitches and hoes, and they've been like, yeah, he is a bitch ass nigga. I just went to his page.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
pulling up all kind of shit. So that is true. I didn't think of it that way.
Yeah. So
ready, set, go.
How you feel about that?
Ready, set, go. No, I agree. Here's the thing. I read people had comments. They said that the part that they didn't like was if everyone in the restaurant was not doing it and you had issues with these 3 people, you should have put them out. Like after you had to come back and tell them, you should have put them out. Yeah. You didn't have to tell that to other people who were not doing that because like address the issue. And we all do that. Like if I'm at work and you have other people who are not doing their job, you don't need to address that with me. I'm doing mine. You need to go to whoever's the issue and get them motherfuckers out of here. Fire their ass. I don't care. Or just put their ass out. So I understood that part. But like you said, I also looked at it like if I own a business and I'm telling you, hey, calm down. I know I got this music playing. It's for y'all to enjoy, but just calm down. And he said that I guess it was some other restaurant that allows that. So you know that this place is not really like this one. So when I go to this one, I know not to do that. Like I'm not going to fuck up, do stuff or be disrespectful. I can jam without twerk. People, you can jam without twerking. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. Gangsters don't dance, they boogie. You could, pick up something. You don't necessarily have to do that. But, they did. And I felt like he should have addressed the issue with them. But also, if I'm mad at you jumping on my shit, I yell at my son for jumping on my furniture. So I'm definitely going off on some niggas I don't know.
Crowd of motherfuckers.
So,
right. Oh, hell no.
I think the biggest problem was on the furniture. You gotta think about it. Twerking in your seat. And she twerk when she eat. Y'all seen the video?
I seen a couple.
She went viral with that shit.
She do get down. She do get down.
But if she got on the chair and did it, then it's different. Yeah. It's like be like you don't take that to every environment. I don't think it's okay anywhere unless that's what's put out there. You know what I'm saying?
Stop.
Yeah.
Sit your ass there.
But here's the thing. So
I don't agree with that shit, period.
Yeah, so it's funny when we talk about it and say it should have been addressed individually. And granted, it was initially. And then he just said, listen, it's getting out of hand. I'm going to make an example. But the black people, we don't do anything individually. We always generalize.
Yeah.
It could be a shooting, one dude run off. They got video. Shooting on 75th and Prospect. What's the status gonna say? Y'all niggas out here killing everybody. It was one nigga.
Right. Y'all took my cousin, bitch. I was in the house.
Exactly.
What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's just how we operate. And honestly, black folks, we know it's hard. It's hard for us, regardless how you put it. So when you see your own people tearing up your stuff and you like, yo, I'm trying to set a standard here, we gonna snap and it ain't gonna be nice. I just see it that way. And I get it because the way my life is just how I see it. But I don't mean that. I mean, the language was kind of like, it was tough. But dude, business popping now.
I saw that the feedback now is business booming. The only thing I had to say about that, it definitely sold. The only thing I had to say, that had to be some of the best twerking ever because if he came up, I didn't hear about until just now the 2 or 3 videos. The 2 or 3 times he came over there and told them prior. Yeah. So that means that they was mad and twerking, like to get on his nerves. Man, where's that video? Does that exist?
He came out with a statement, and his statement and other people who were there had said that he had told them a couple of times, like, hey,
That's what's so funny to me trying to visualize it. Like if he came over here and told you, and your girls is at the table. You're like, this motherfucker gonna say we can't twerk.
I'll be like, Grandma,
let's fucking twerk the shit out this motherfucker.
You ain't gonna tell my grandma she can't do her thing. You heard me say, get it, Grandma.
Then if he said 3 times, that means they sat back down again.
Right.
And then got back up with even more enthusiasm when the twerk.
Because they was at peak level right there. That nigga was like, get shit the fuck! What the bitches? That was the last one.
That was it.
He was like, he can't. All right, y'all calm down.
That was the first
everybody calm down.
All right, we good.
I wanted to see what broke the camel's back. Is what I'm saying.
Hey, can y'all chill? I'm gonna ask y'all this one more time. Can y'all chill?
We chilling.
Did y'all get enough to drink?
We did.
All right,
I need Sprite.
Cool.
Okay.
What the fuck is y'all doing? What the fuck? This is my establishment. I came to this motherfucker 2 times. I was in after that.
No, he was.
Twerking.
You could tell he was tired, and they had to be really disrespecting that furniture.
Yeah, absolutely.
They had to be really disrespecting. But I heard people who were watching it like, I can't believe he. You know, you can hear the little remarks.
Nigga went to go text somebody. These motherfuckers.
Yeah.
If I gotta go back, I'm
gonna
say something.
I'm gonna say something,
and I'm gonna go the fuck off. Somebody get my bail money together. Somebody get my bail money together. And I'm about to go the fuck off. Nigga, when he came in there, it was like, what the fuck?
He was mad. What the fuck, but wouldn't you be okay? So let's say this.
That nigga walked back and forth and everything. This nigga was.
I put it like this. Okay, we've all been to places like Swope when it's packed or some place like that, right?
Yeah.
And let's say you got somebody who they playing music, they hype, they jump on your car. Now you don't know these people, but they jumping on your car and they dead because everybody having a good time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then you like, hey, you know, could you get off my car? For ladies, like, you leaning too hard on my car. I don't know you. I just washed it. You know, could you get off my stuff? Right. And then they like, yeah, you, I'm my bad. And you like, I'm cool. All right, I got you. Whatever.
Right.
And then you go turn your head, and then they jumping on your shit again because a new song came on. You like, I kind of told you the last time. Could you stop? You know, I don't even know why the fuck you on my hood. Like, how the hell you get up on my sunroof? I don't get it.
Yeah.
And then you turn back around, and they're inside your car. After a while, you got to be like, hey, I'm flipping because that's your shit.
Yeah.
So I don't think people who are not looking at it like, I own this stuff. I put my money into this. Like, this is not what I'm allowing. If a person allows you to do that, that's cool. But if it's not that type of party, it don't matter what he playing.
Yeah, but ain't that type of party.
Okay, but what is he doing now? He said his business is booming, but now is he allowing twerking, or was they just coming in there because against twerking? Like, how is it working? Like, I don't understand.
I'm pretty sure he wouldn't. I'm pretty sure no twerking is allowed. But people was like, well, he shouldn't have had a DJ in there and all this. And I'm like, well, I've been in places that, especially like you said, Atlanta. That's the first thing my mind went to.
Hey, but I kind of agree with that somewhat because you can, like, when you got like a set playlist, when like you already know what the hell going on. But if you got a DJ, you running the risk that a motherfucker might get too high. You know what I mean? Like that nigga in there like dropping hits, you gonna be, well, you know what I mean? It starts slow and all of a sudden the ball starts rolling.
That nigga played for 99 2000. That's a rap.
Listen.
No. You can't play that shit.
There's some trigger songs for black people. You know that, man.
He played My Neck in My Back?
No.
You can't not do My Neck in My Back.
Everybody got a trigger song. I ain't gonna tell you what mine is, but everybody got one.
No, well, if
Taylor Swift shit, ain't it, bro?
If they
I ain't gonna say shit.
If they playing Little John and the East Side Boys, ain't nobody came up and smacked another motherfucker, then we straight.
Right.
You should know how to behave. If you ain't got people fighting over the eggs and shit.
Yeah, that's the point. Because I said that too. I said on Twitter, I was like, what if the dude came in the club and DJ dropped like I ain't scared of you niggas or never scared or whatever.
Listen, never scared.
And then he shot the club up and then he on Twitter the next day, well, if the DJ didn't play that song, I wouldn't have shot the club up.
Hey,
I wasn't even thinking about shooting this motherfucker up.
No bullshit. Yeah. But if the DJ wouldn't have played that goddamn song, he wouldn't have probably shot the club up.
Absolutely.
I strongly believe in that shit.
It's about accountability.
I was trying to drink my drink. You ain't have to play that shit.
Yeah. I'm over here like, oh shit, this nigga didn't play. Oh, I'm about to pull my piss down. Hey, nigga, like.
Throw your setup. That nigga threw up the wrong set.
Yeah.
That nigga threw up the wrong set.
That was that 15 people are now dead after DJ played Bone Crushers.
No lie.
Absolutely. Yeah.
No lie. That's on the web somewhere in 2003, 2004.
No, I'm gonna tell you this. I know me myself came up in the era of Little John being actually in the club.
And
we went crazy.
Wow.
But we went crazy, but the fights happened after. There was some beat that happened from the hood.
Yeah.
That wasn't just in the club.
It was gonna happen regardless.
Yeah, that shit was already in the works.
Hey, but if you ever get some fight music, nigga, it's the best.
That's what it is. Lil Jon will motivate you to handle your business, but he ain't gonna start no beef. You know what I mean? Like,
but he got a song. He got a song saying, "I ain't trying to start no shit. It won't be no shit." That's what the song say, Ron.
Now you start starting beef, then don't play that nigga shit no more.
Yeah, but so you know how to act when it comes to certain music. So I feel like that was, I don't care. It was
don't start no shit.
It was disrespectful.
Won't be no shit.
It was disrespectful. I don't know. But it was another video that they were dancing and they were like,
what was the song?
was playing?
Yeah, that was playing.
Shit, I don't know.
Body yada yada. You can't. It's certain songs.
I can't stand that fucking song.
You got to go up to the DJ and be like, DJ, these is a few songs you just can't play. Niggas just can't handle it.
Dude.
They can't handle it.
That's true.
Look, I can't even
Niggas
click
about
on
to
Chicks
playlist.
Live no more. That's the
Nah.
only fucking thing you hear.
Yeah,
Like,
that's right.
you gotta watch their lives on mute.
In the world of like your camera phone, like every time the song come on, you got to TikTok. Let me go ahead and do this. Body yada in front of the waitresses.
Because they have a dance. There's a dance.
Now the waitress is body yada yada yada.
Man, bro, I'm sick of it.
The whole restaurant is body. This nigga had to kick the waitress out. What bitches y'all be here? What the fuck is going on? We had to hire new waitresses and shit.
All right, man. Let's switch up a little bit. We had a little silly moment.
All right.
I got a question to ask Bobby. This guy has something to do with a comedian that we just talked about. Going to be on a future show. And I think I asked this question a couple of times too. Why is it in the comedy game that it seems like some comedians can fly under the radar for so long, and then you see some get their breaks, they go on to do TV shows, you see some in movies, and then like add insult to injury, you see some of the social media stars that just hop right to movies and just bypass all of that work and stuff like that. Like just let's talk about that. Let's school us real quick on this.
So talent is never it. It's never talent. It's always marketability. It's a situation where you could have an agent that's in there and they can get you in a show and then your life just takes off. Like take Lil Rel, for example. Lil Rel was in Get Out and he told me that came out in February. And in December, we was sitting here. He was here. And he was like, man, I'm in this movie, you know, and it's about to change my life. And I was like, really? He's like, it's like a horror film, but I'm like the only comic relief in the movie. And I was like, really? And then it hit. And then after that, it started him. Yeah. He was in everything. And it's kind of, again, it's all about the marketability, but it's a business at the end of the day. The funniest comics, you don't even know them yet. Or you may know them, and they just ain't out there because it was a pathway. Especially we're on the outside of the structure now, and what I mean by that, there was always a structure with comedy up until maybe the last 7-8 years because Comic View's gone, Def Comedy Jam's gone, First Amendment's gone, and what it was is when you would perform, you were perfecting an act to be on a sitcom or something. You don't know when that producer or director or writer is going to be in that room and see you and watch you and come up to you at the end of the show and be like, hey man, I'm working on this new sitcom. I think you'd be a cool neighbor for this show. So everybody was on that path. Or like if you go back to the 80s and 90s and even before that, it was getting on the late night show. And then you do that 5-minute bit and you take off. JJ from Good Times, same with him. You did that late night, and then you made $1 million in the next year. It was always that one thing, and when people know those are the gatekeepers, they know, okay, the difference between you making it and not is through me, and I'm gonna go out, and they could literally, like tomorrow, pluck Cortez off the stage, put him in a show, and now his life has changed. And it had nothing to do with his work ethic. It's all about luck. Yeah. It's all about chance. It ain't about your talent. Now, being in the right place with your talent gets you there. But your talent, it usually doesn't center around that. It's just like, well, we can make money off this dude. You see what I'm saying? So that's why. It's about being in the right place, man.
Yeah. I do think that's kind of it, too. And now it's kind of shifting because when they getting these people on shows, like you brought up Lil Rel, I seen Jess Hilarious on his show, and I'm like, how the fuck Jess Hilarious get on this show? Not saying Jess Hilarious is trash or anything like that, but to get the opportunity to be on the show, I'm pretty sure it was a lot of motherfuckers that could have took that role. Yeah, so but since they are marketing her, I believe that she got a shot. It's
also the conversion that they're expecting to happen. So it's happened and failed, and now this is about to change. And I'm telling you now, like in terms of entertainment and comedy, it's about to change. So you, like you said, you get those social media dudes that get these opportunities, and then you're like, well, dang, what happened? You know, like what's about to start happening because it's failed. It's failed too many times. You'll get a YouTuber with 4 million followers, and they'll do a tour and bring out 700, 800, 2,000 people at a time, and they're giving a horrible performance. Or they'll put them in a movie. They've done that before. Hollywood's put all these YouTubers in a movie, and they thought that their subscribers were going to convert to viewers. And they're like, we don't want to see you in that capacity. We want to see you doing what you do. You know what I'm saying?
We want to see you run head first to a brick wall, nigga.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
I don't want to see you with Will Smith.
Yeah, right. There you go. And it didn't work. And it was always a failure. Box office flop. It never makes it. And then with Lil Rel show, and then having Jess on there, Jess, her followers didn't even like the show. You see it a lot. Oh, this show whack. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
it was tough to watch.
And then people that didn't,
I didn't even hear about it.
People wouldn't watch it.
Yeah, it was tough to watch.
Yeah, and people that didn't like Jess didn't watch the show because of Jess. So it put a barrier up for the span that the show could have reached. But because people don't like her, and then she did the stuff with the Sikhs and being, she was like on the plane or whatever, and she had thought these dudes were Muslims.
Muslims, I didn't know what that was about. Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah, because they had the turbans on and stuff.
Oh, I remember that. Yeah, the internet did not respond.
Yeah, the internet would tear you down.
Hey,
especially when you haven't reached a certain level of fame, you can't afford to be hacked apart by the internet. You might not survive that shit.
Sinbad was the best thing on that show. I cracked up.
And then also, that's how I feel with entertainment, because Cortez can attest to this too, being a newer comic. You're not new by any means, but you're a newer comic. Every day you wake up, you feel like it can be that day, because all it takes is one opportunity. It be shows where I'll be on, and it's like we did Damon Wayans, and Damon Wayans is one of my favorite comics, and I mean, I just idolize the guy. And people after the show were like, "Oh my God, you were funnier than him," and I didn't want to hear that because, but they don't understand that I'm hungry.
Right.
Damon made it, so he can get up there. His composure's different, and I'm up there sweating and crying all on the floor, and I'm telling my jokes and getting every laugh I can because I got more to prove.
Yeah,
he already proved his 30 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I'm up there giving my all, and people don't see the difference. They don't realize that I'm just scratching and clawing, trying to get whatever I can, all them laughs every 2 seconds, And it can be, Damon can be like, "Hey, Bobby, I got this show," because I'm trying to impress him too, and then I'm trying to make the crowd laugh, and he'd be like, "Man, I'm working on this show, and I think you'd be good at this, And that's all it takes, you know what I'm saying? So. But it's like it's out of our hands as entertainers. I was personally there with Kevin Hart in his rise, like seeing it and being there on the ground before he got any opportunities other than the Paper Soldiers. But so when I seen that, I was like, man, all I need is that one shot. And I'm still pushing for it. I've had a couple yeses, but I've been eating off them couple yeses because I've been grinding still. But with him, I saw him get that one opportunity, then another opportunity, because he got that one opportunity. And Hollywood is like a copycat industry.
Yeah.
It's creatively bankrupt. So they say, well, if this is what's working and everybody like this person, we're going to run this to the ground. And then they get the next person, they're going to run that to the ground. So that's just how it works. That's how it works.
Interesting.
Yeah, I like I like the Kevin Hart old movies, man. Yeah. The Paper Soldiers, that one was a good one.
That's cool.
It was a good one, man.
Soul Plane wasn't that bad. It was bad, but it was like one of those films where I laughed. I did laugh. Monique had me cracking up at the beginning.
Yeah.
I mean, I laughed.
He was funny in Scary Movie. I mean, to me, he was funny in Scary Movie, but I just like that.
But I do understand what you mean. Like, they just shove it to the ground. Like, they have been, when Kevin Hart really got his break, they was using him in every goddamn thing. Like that Walk Hard.
Hollywood will run you into the ground. You as a person once you make it. Like, they'll make your career short because they want to suck all of the money out of you possible.
Tiffany Haddish, like, she has finally got her big break, and she's just been in movies and TV shows. Yeah. And I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing what, like, most of the shows that she's in or the movies that she's in, she plays the same character, and I think that's what you mean. Like, they just shove you into the ground with that same fucking character until you break out of it. I think one of the coolest movies that Kevin Hart did was The Ring or The Wedding Ringer or something like that. Yeah, and that shit was dope. He wasn't the topic of laughter. He had his own role. He was the big nigga on the set and everything. And I was like, damn, Kevin ain't playing second to nobody this show. and I ain't seen another one since then.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm scared about Tiffany Haddish. I don't think she would be able to break out that role.
Tiffany did the smart thing, and I'm just gonna go out on the limb. Tiffany realizes she's not as funny as her the way they pump her up to be, because she's her stature is bigger than her talent, because she just came out of nowhere with Girls Trip.
Yeah,
people was like, "Oh my god!" And
that was hilarious.
Fit in Girls Trip, but you can't take that role and put that in every single movie and say this is going to work. So Tiffany took off on this big old tour, and everybody was coming out to see her. You know, she's selling out 2,000-3,000 seaters, theaters, and everything, and she's bombing.
I heard
trending. Oh, she's down here in Detroit. She bombed. She down in Miami. New Year's Eve, bombed. And Tiffany was like, "Let me pivot." And what she did is she used her name to put other people on. And then she did the Stay Ready tour. Yeah. And then she because she's now hosting and doing little bits, but she's letting them shine.
Smart.
And then it took the attention off of, okay, she's not really, you know what I'm saying? They don't, like, you see what she's doing, like, dang, I can't hate on that. She doing good. She helping sisters out and stuff like that. Yeah. But she's still getting in movies, and she's still doing the same act, you know what I'm saying? So,
all right, but as far as her stand-up, though, like, wouldn't different writers, like, be able to change a comedian, like, be able to break them all the way down and build them back up? Why do you think that people who get in that position to where you said, like, their stature is bigger than your talent, why won't you help grow your talent? Get help. Get a ghostwriter.
That's what
why wouldn't you do that?
Hilarious did.
But I offered, my boy, dang, what's his name?
Because she did one. I think she came here and she didn't do so well, and I was like, "Dude, she fucking right? Or what is she doing?" And then she came back and she killed. I said, "Motherfucker!"
So I offered to write for Tiffany, and I offered to write for Nene Leakes too, and I got turned down both times.
Damn.
Yeah. So it's just, that's what I do. I try to embody them, and then I try to write from their perspective and try to make it work. And even send some jokes over. And it's like, no, thank you, we're not interested. But then where they at now? See what I'm saying? Right. So, but she could have done that, and that would have been the best bet. But it takes time to work those jokes out, because she wasn't in the clubs. Like, if she had did comedy clubs instead of theaters, and she did 2 shows a night for 3 nights, and then on Sunday do 1 show, so that's 7 shows, she could work that material out. But when you say, you know what, that club hosts 350 people, I'm just going to do the Midland that hosts 2,500. That's my whole weekend in 1 night. And then you didn't get to work that material out. So your Friday early show will be a little bit, it'd be funny, but it's intimate. Yeah. And then by Saturday late show, you got them jokes down. And then you start booming. Then next weekend, you pick up from where you left off.
That ain't no lie.
But you can't grow when you just doing arenas and theaters like that. It just doesn't work out that way. Yeah.
But is there a different type of comedy? Because I see some people are funnier at skits. And when, like you said, when you see them do stand-up, it's like,
yikes.
You know, that's not great. So could it just be that I'm funnier at doing this than I am at doing this? Like, stand-up may not be my thing.
So here's the problem. Comedy doesn't require a certification. You can just do something silly, and now people say you're a comedian.
Right.
Yeah, because they laugh.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
And then what does a comedian do? You write jokes. You write a setup, punchline, premise, punchline, things like that. And then it's an art form. It's the mechanics of comedy. When you're in front of 350 people at a comedy club, and you're looking at different backgrounds, they all respond the same way. That's why we watch sitcoms and we know where to laugh, because the laugh tracks is in there. But the way they set the punchlines up, it tickles us. It makes sense. It walks you through it. These people will, and I've done so many shows with internet dudes, and they come out and they just bomb because they think they're gonna go up there with their dresses and do this and all right, after 4 minutes, what else you got, dog? We want to hear some jokes.
Exactly.
Yeah. So it doesn't work.
I bought a new outfit, nigga. This
I gotta wear this again tomorrow because it ain't funny. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So, but that happens a lot. So the first thing they do, you do something silly, and then they say, "Oh, you're a comedian." Then you go to these dudes' pages and they got like 12,000 followers, and it says comedian, and they ain't did no stand up. And You go see their show. They have 1 million followers. You go see their show, and you like, what? Y'all know we was at one, and it just didn't go right. And I was like, that 1 million followers ain't gonna help you be funny, dog. Like,
yeah, exactly.
So it is what it is. But yeah.
a lot of internet comedians that try to cross over. You know, the difference now is when you're a comedian, a stand-up comedian first, you're building like this type of audience, right? But you're getting this audience like randomly. Like you may perform with this person, you got their audience. You may perform with this person, you got their audience. But when these internet comedians come in town, they bring their own audience. So you expecting them to be as funny as they are on camera, and they don't even relate like that.
So this is what happens. So a lot of the internet dudes are, I would say, under 25. Most people under 25 have never stepped foot in a comedy club. But what they have seen is Dave Chappelle. They've seen Kevin Hart. They've seen it on TV. So they've never been in a comedy club, but they're following this guy. So then when they go into the comedy club, they expect that dude to be funny like Kevin Hart or Dave Chappelle. And when they get there, they're disappointed because they don't know what to expect. So it's a difference. Like you said, if these dudes study the game, I'll take DC Young Fly, for example. DC Young Fly is a prime example of what you should do as an internet sensation and learn the comedy game. Don't think because you got 2 million followers that you're too good to go up at an open mic night. Go up there, bomb, try to do better. People going to respect that and say, dang, I see the growth. When I worked with DC 2 years in a row. Yeah. In the first year, he was funny. And I was like, bro, you're good at stories. Keep pumping them stories out. And then he started pumping them stories. And then the next year, he was more poised. And then his stories was hitting a lot better. And I was like, dude, I see the growth. I see the progress. And every comedian that I know looks at him as one of us because you're actually doing what you're supposed to do to be a great comedian. Because the reason why comedians take it personal and they be like, they don't understand the way we look at comedy. So when people see old heads, like we old heads when we talking about a new dude, and they'll be like, oh, he hating because he ain't where he at and all this. It's like, no, it's not that. Yes, this is the new sensation right now. You know, Mr. Funny Dude on whatever the case may be or whatever, and he's the new sensation now. But I'm trying to help him because what happens is when dudes like, the new dudes come out and they come on the stage, they stink it up. And guess who got to fix it? We do. So the old head now, we got to come out there and fix it. You know, and there's nothing wrong with trying and learning, but don't come in there like you the big boss, you the man, and you about to kill it, and then you don't really do it.
They be on that damn flyer. They be like, blah blah's coming down. Then you go to the show, and that motherfucker do 10 minutes, and then the other people on the show is doing the 30 and 45 minutes. You're like, man, I really wanted to come see this motherfucker for $40. For $40.
Oh, and then it's personal too, because like you, if with me, I'm 17 years now, and it does bother me a little bit because I'm like, man, that's I'm coming in here wrecking shop, but that ain't me. I had my calling card in 2012, 2013. I was like packing them out, but then it just the tide shifted, and that's okay. But I'm like, dang, this dude just don't get it. They should be able to go in here and wreck the show. But I was always a comedian first, and then internet came, and then I capitalized on using the platform to be funny, and then people was like, oh, who's this dude? And then I was able to perform. I didn't have to go in and be like, oh snap, they just offered me $5,000 to do this college and I ain't got no jokes. And then you go on, what I'm saying, you go on YouTube and steal some material, then you do their show, you bring your prop bag and all this stuff from your videos, and that's what happens, But for me, I was already a comedian. So I was like, I was just using Twitter to tell jokes. Twitter was my stage. That's why I blew up on Twitter, because it was my stage. And I'm on there, I would think of a joke, tell it, and it would go viral. Boom. And then I tell the joke on stage, and I started to learn. They like, dang, we heard this.
Hell yeah!
Like people would laugh, but
even if they knew it, like they like it's your joke.
It's my joke. Right? Yeah, it's my joke. Yeah. So I would write. I was using that to test jokes out to see if it was funny. And then my boy Ture in Philly, he's a comedian, and he was like, bro, you got to stop doing this. He's like, I'm throwing shows and niggas coming in here with your whole timeline telling your jokes.
Yep.
I was basically putting my material because I'm thinking it's
What
mine,
the fuck?
but I didn't realize people were stealing
Yeah.
it. So what people would do would like cut off your name and then repost it. It was like right at that point, and they were reposting it. So it was one joke. Michael Blackson shared it, but people thought it was his joke, and it was my joke of the Juicy Juice joke.
Oh, I love
I
it.
said, so I was like, you ever been over Hood Chick house and she having a
The Juicy Juice.
yeah, like hood chicks do wine tastings and stuff like that, thinking they, thinking they thinking they doing it big. They got the $2 barefoot Moscatos and stuff, and they in there prancing around. Ooh, girl, you need to try this. The whole bucket of wine is like $12, but they fancy though. So I was talking about that, and then I seen it happen, and I was like, this is really a thing they doing, and it was just the phase at the time. So I remember writing a joke. I said, well, you ever been to hood chicks wine tasting, and then they start pouring their little made up liquors, and then she's like, ooh, girl, taste this. This is a Juicy Juice and Ciroc. This is a Pedialyte and Patron, girl. You know what I'm saying? So I wrote that on Twitter, and then I remember I was out. I remember being out, and then I was getting a bunch of like when I get online, I was getting a ton of notifications, and people was like, yo, Michael Blackson stole your joke. He didn't technically steal it because he never performed the joke, but he just posted it because it was funny, and my name wasn't on there. And at that point, I knew, and I haven't done the joke since then, because when people see it, they're gonna be like, nigga, you stealing material off the internet, not realizing I'm fueling the material out there, you know. So I've had, look, this is so much with this comedy game.
I seen somebody say that shit one time. I was at a comedy show and I got done, and this girl walked up to me and she was like, I heard all your jokes on the internet. I was just like, well, damn, it's my jokes, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Like, I'm the one that wrote them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
She done came up to you mad. Too.
Like, you can't say that shit again, nigga. You already posted that
You
shit.
already posted this
And
shit. Not no more.
If he posts it as a set, then cool. Like you
Right.
can post that clip, then do it that way.
Yeah.
I had to learn the hard way because I've lost some bangers. Like when I did Comic View and they had us to audition. Well, I didn't have to audition, but they had people audition, and I immediately got calls from the producers in Chicago saying that this dude did my joke. And of course, he didn't get the opportunity to do the show, but I got blew up like, hey man, this dude did your stuff. Oh, it was the gay joke in the Atlanta joke, where the bouncer was gay.
Now you're going to have to tell it, because I don't think I remember this
I'm
one.
looking like, okay, tell me.
Yeah, so it's been stolen from me too, but it talks about me, and I still do it every now and again, but it talks about me being at a club in Atlanta after my shows. I'm like, man, I like to go kick it at the end of my show. And I was like, so we pull up to this club, my boy like, well, we can go here or whatever. So I'm like, cool, it's a long line, but I see a light-skinned dude over there. He must be the VIP. He at the door, he must be the VIP dude or whatever. So we pull up, get out the car, we stand in line, and I'm like, man, this line long. He's like, let's go over to the dude. So we go over there, and I'm like, fellas, you know how they pat you down,
Right.
They do like this, boom, 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 you're in, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, I walk up to the dude, I got a pocket full of money. I'm like, come on, y'all. So I put my hands up, and he started patting me down, and I'm like, but this pat down was a little different. This pat down was like 6-7 minutes. So he's like, breast, ass, crotch, breast, ass, crotch. Then he spent me around. I'm like, he reached so far up under here, this nigga scratched my back. I'm like, hey. So I pull up off of the dude like, yo, dog, what's up, man? Nigga, I ain't gay, nigga. Matter of fact, go call your manager. He was like, go call the manager, because I don't work here anyways. Then he walk out, you know what I'm saying? So he did that one.
Dude, what I promise you.
That was a good one. I probably would have stole that one.
Yeah.
I promise you.
I like that one.
Every time somebody asks me who my top 5 comedians are, you always in my top 5, bro.
Oh,
like,
man,
I kid
thank
you
you,
not, every time. Like, for the first time I seen you, I had tears, man.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I still go see you. Huh?
Speaking of, listen, good segue. Good segue,
gonna
because
cut
we
me
have
off
to.
and
Yes,
then-
I
Cut
am.
his ass right
Yes,
off.
I am, because he was right. Robert was right. It changed. Your list changed.
Hey,
Your list
you can go online.
like a mug.
I remember him, though.
Gary
So if
Owens.
I ask him his top 5 and he don't say these fucking people,
Who's your top 5?
Gary Owens, Chris Rock, Bobby J, myself, And
nah, you a lying motherfucker. You said D-Ray was in your top
no,
5.
I did not say D-Ray was in my top 5.
I could have sworn you said, yeah, you did. You said Gary Owen? Are you put Gary Owen?
You said Sinbad?
He did say Gary. He did say Gary.
That's number 5.
There's about 20 people in Cortez's top 5.
Hey,
number 5.
There's like 20 people in there.
His shit rotate.
Hey,
His shit rotate.
write my shit down and you can go back to that.
We gotta listen to those shows.
Yo, I kid you not. Every time me and the old lady go, she be like, we already heard these jokes. I be like, they fucking funny. Every fucking time I see this nigga. I see you at the Wyandotte Prom, nigga, I cried that night too.
Yeah, I forgot.
I
about
cried
that
night. How did, like,
what about
I don't even understand how you even did it. Like it was a prom, bro. Like we was all dressed up. We all grabbed a seat, and this nigga went around the room and talked about everybody. I cracked up the whole time.
Did you?
Yeah.
Talked about everybody.
Damn, so you roasted the whole party.
Roasted everybody.
Because I saw how the show was going, and what I do is I don't really listen to comics too much, but I kind of peek in and see what's going on. And I see how the crowd was reacting. They was being some prudes a little bit because when we dress up, we like, all right, we want to do our thing. But comedy was introduced to the Wyandotte Prom. Man, when was this? Like
that was like 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah. So
shout out. Who put that together? Terrence Maddox. Yeah, shout out to Terrence Maddox.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what, I'm about to loosen these people up. So I just started like, hey, y'all better loosen the hell up. You know what I'm saying? We here, y'all uptight. Y'all ain't trying to sweat these outfits out. Yeah. I'm like, I'm trying to wear them to church tomorrow and all this stuff. So I'm just going in.
Every time.
And then I just start talking about like the old people there and the couples.
We had a joke about this oxygen tank, man. That mug is about to get me in tears right now. How you would turn the lady's oxygen tank off.
Oh, yeah.
I remember the oxygen tank joke.
Nigga, that joke, man.
So the
legendary, bro. Don't even tell nobody that joke. They got to come see you to see that joke, bro.
Yeah, that's my closer now. And I wrote that joke. So I wrote the joke in 2000, in maybe 2011, 2012.
A long time ago.
And then I just never did it because I tried it once and it didn't hit like I wanted. It got laughs, but it was like weird laughs. Like it didn't. It wasn't because when you do comedy, you know where your laugh's supposed to come.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I don't know what to do.
So
So
with that punchline and nobody laugh, you be like,
yeah, you be like, so shit,
damn,
right? That was a punchline.
Right.
I don't know.
You be like, shit, it's crazy.
Start
out here.
dancing.
Yeah.
Did you say start dancing?
Start dancing.
Yeah.
What else you supposed to do?
DJ, run that back real quick. Yeah.
The DJ get it the worst. Like,
Yeah.
nigga, who hired this DJ?
Right.
Nigga ain't got nothing to do with nothing.
So I wrote it, and then I didn't do it for like 5-6 years. And then something made me bring it back. I don't know what it was. And all of a sudden, I did it, and then I did the oxygen tank, and I made the noise. And I ain't heard it. You heard it.
Yeah, I seen it within,
I seen it. I seen it
7-8
twice.
months ago. Like, when was the last time we went to the Improv and saw Bobby J? She ain't paying attention. It was like within a year ago.
Yeah. So that's my closer now because it's a long story, and I don't want to close on a high. I want to close with like laugh, because they hear the story, and then I do it, and then what happens at the end is like, oh shit, and then that's my time, But that joke, it grew over maybe 8 years, and then it became something. So even with comics, when they write, don't throw them jokes away. I just opened up a photo album, and I had a notepad because I don't write my jokes out. If I have a joke, then it'll be like broke down car. That's all I write, broke down car. And then once I tell the story in my head, it's there. So I had a list, and it was like 30 jokes. And I was like, I don't even remember these. Now, if I kept seeing it over the years, but when I looked, I was like, man, and then it showed me like I could tell when it was from, and it was like around that time, like maybe 8 years ago. So,
that's dope, man.
Yeah.
The first joke I ever heard you tell, I remember this day like it was yesterday. I had just started comedy. I want to say it was like 2012, and everybody knew who you was. It was just like if you wasn't nobody if you didn't know who Bobby J was. It was like well, you do comedy? Yeah, I do comedy. Be like, you perform Bobby J? Nah, but I want to.
Right.
So I like him, but I want to. And I went to Kevin Rowe's spot. Shout out to Kev Rowe. I went to he used to do a little thing on Thursdays. Him and I want to say her name is Jamila or
Jamila. Yeah.
They was doing something on Thursdays and they had us come out and perform like open mic and shit. And one day you was hosting and you was talking about how you told your kids something to go tell their mama and they done messed up the fucking words all the way to the room. And I was like, dude, what the fuck? So I go on, he introduced me, and I do my little set or whatever, and I'm afraid as fuck because I want Bobby J to like me. And I kid you, I kid you not.
Did he like you?
Y'all remember this day like it was yesterday. Yeah. Like I walked to the bathroom. They got this little lift up there where they got the pool tables and shit at, and that's where the bathroom is at. So I walked to the bathroom, and I'm coming out the bathroom because he's on the mic. And I'm in the bathroom, like just, just like, did I do good? Did I not do good? I come out the bathroom, and he's coming up the steps, and he's like, bro, you did really good. Keep on that shit. And I was like, I told everybody. I was like, Bobby J. I'm for Bobby J.
Yeah. Bobby J stamped me, nigga. I don't know what the fuck. My nigga, I don't even know you. Why are you telling me that?
I told you that.
So that joke is, I don't do it anymore, but that's the joke about you ever tell a kid to do something for you.
Hilarious,
and they mess it up. So I talk about my oldest daughter, and she was a kid, and I told her I'm going to pick you up for your, we going to hang out for the weekend. So I said, I'm going to pick you up, and we're going to go to the zoo. And we'll stop by McDonald's, get you ice cream, and while we at the zoo, we going to feed the monkeys. And she loved to feed the monkeys when we was at the zoo. So I was like, well, tell your mama we're going to go to the zoo. And I said, matter of fact, tell your mama give you $1. So you ever told a kid to do something, and when they go to tell the other adult, you hear them rehearsing it on the way? Yeah. So my daughter's walking, and she's running. She's like, okay, mom, daddy said, give me $1. We're going to go to McDonald's. We're going to get a milkshake. We go to the zoo. We're going to feed the monkeys. So she get all the way upstairs. She out of breath, and she's like... Mama, daddy said he'll give you $1 if you shake your monkey for him. She just messed it all up. So her mama come downstairs like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, come on, let's go. Let's get the hell up out of here. So I don't do that.
That was a good
one.
That was a good one.
That was a good one, bro. I cried.
Hey, before I forget, I gotta ask about this because dealing with these comedians, having celebrities come on the show, people of your stature and stuff, I want to learn. Recently, I watched a YouTube video that Deion Cole put out called "Working It Out." And I had heard that term for the first time when Gary Owen was on the show. He was talking about just working out material.
Yep.
I had no idea what the fuck that meant. So he put out a 40-minute video after he did Cold Hearted. He tried to bust his whole routine down and, build it back up. And he put out all of that shit, like all the comedy clubs, showing the jokes, showing the things that might have been used, and he just put it out there. Yeah. How easy is it to work out material when you think that, like, because obviously you working it out. So is it like, does it hurt your confidence when something that you think will hit doesn't? Does it confuse you when the shit that you wasn't sure about kills? Like, how does that work?
Yeah, so it's 3 different rooms, and we call them rooms. And he could have a comedy venue, and I call it a room.
Right.
Comics, that's our lingo. So working it out is... he's throwing a show. To answer your question, it doesn't hurt my feelings if it don't work because I expect it to go either way. But what hurts my feelings is the people that attend his show not knowing, and I won't use me for example, but let's just say Gary Owen was in town and showed up to his room.
Yeah.
And the crowd's there, and Gary's like, this is a good opportunity to use 10 minutes to try out these new jokes.
Yeah.
They want to see the TV Gary. Yeah. They don't want to see you trying out your new jokes, and they don't understand it. So when you do a joke, and you be like, shit, or you pull out a notepad, and they be like, what's this nigga doing? They understand you working out jokes because Kansas City is not a comedy mecca. You can do that in Chicago, you can do that in Philly, New York, L.A., but Kansas City, they want to see a finished product here.
Yeah, so even you can't polish your shit up in front of them.
Absolutely. So when they see me, and they might be like, man, we heard them first 4 jokes or whatever. I'm working on it. I'm working it out. Because when I do get that opportunity, like I had to do, when I did Comic View, I had to go out and record like 5 sets and try to perfect it. Old material, because they was Xing out. You can't say this, we ain't talk, because we were in a new day now. Like, you can't say no gay jokes, can't do this. So I had to go do old material. And I was like, at this spot, that spot. And it was getting laughs, but I felt weird. Like, man, I'm doing old material in front of these people that they didn't heard before, but they don't realize it's for TV. Yeah. And then when I got on TV, boom, busted it. Like, all right, it's perfected, and the rest of the world never heard them jokes. You see what I'm saying? Okay. So that's the problem with locale where people think he could be a rapper, famous to the world. He can leave here and be like, hey, this is the dude. But at home, Nelly can go to St. Louis and probably walk to the Chinese restaurant.
Nobody care.
Oh, that's just Nelly.
Yeah.
But here, you're like, oh, snap, Nelly down and go chicken go, nigga, come on. Because you used to him, and they, like, his song, it came out like 3 years after he dropped it.
Yeah.
Or it became big
Hot,
after.
yeah.
So working it out, it just depends where you at. And it's harder here because I understand the dynamic. I could go work it out in Atlanta. I can go work it out somewhere else. But here in Kansas City, they're like, I paid to get in.
Do you tell the crowd you working it out, or do you just
do? Yeah, or I'm about to try these new jokes or whatever, and they don't even hear it. They just you really have to make it blatant. Like, hey, I'm just here. Chris Rock could show up, and back when I was starting, that was a thing. It was the thing. That's how I got into with so many comedians that are popular and big now, because they was working it out. It was a time where, you know, I walk in, get nudged, here Kevin Hart is, you know what I'm saying? And he's like, yeah, I'm coming here to, you know, just do some stuff, and I'm going to just get up. We call it get up, too. I'm going to get up, you know what I'm saying? So they get up, and you'll see it, and you'll hear the all right joke back in 2003. He working on it.
Yeah.
And then in 2011, it finally comes out because he's grinded that, because you don't want to throw material away because this crowd ain't never heard it. I've done shows here, and I'll be like, damn, I just killed this show for 45 minutes because these people in Overland Park never heard them jokes. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right.
So you get comics that think they got to change it up and do all this different stuff, but you don't have to.
It's so hard in Kansas City. That's one of the things that burn you out, too, because you don't have no place to go and try out your jokes. Like the places you do have, you have to beg for the spot so you can get a crowd, or you have to go perform in some place where it's a hookah lounge or some shit.
Yeah.
And those are not really suitable for comedy shows. So it's really hard to work out a room in your local spot, especially when it don't have no rooms.
And it's usually, the spot is usually like you're infringing on somebody else. So it might be a spot off, you know, the 35th Street, and there's some old nigga in there shooting darts, and he in the area, like it's stage here in the light, and you're the dartboard, and you on stage telling jokes. So the fuck? And he ain't gonna move because he there every Thursday for the last 40 years, and you just like, what the fuck? Like, that's, you know what I'm saying? So
work out no damn jokes here.
You on my time.
And everybody back turned to you and stuff. So, but for me, what happens is, because I'm such a student of the game, I'm always learning, and I'm always like just trying to figure out where I fit in. This is a new thing every year. You got to reinvent yourself. You got to jump in, and that helps you as a comedian as well, because you can never fall off, because you just figure out the new wave and take your market. I mean, your piece of the pie, and maximize that. You know what I'm saying? So for me, with being here, a lot of comics, and I've heard it, man, Bobby J ain't he don't want to do my room or whatever. And I'll be like, well, I can't, because I don't want to burn myself out here. It ain't that I won't do it. And most of the time I'll never tell them no. But I'll be like, I'll do it in a couple of months. Just book me then. Yeah. And they'll look at it from a perspective of like, oh, Bobby J, he ain't trying to do my room, or he think he too big. No, it's a thing called burnout, because you might start laughing at your leggings off.
Shout out to Laugh Your Leggings Off. We was in it.
I even performed on that shit.
You
Shout
was
out
there,
to Laugh Your Leggings Off.
You did? What'd you do?
Absolutely.
Man, I did stand up like 3 times, bro.
Really?
I was too broke, though. I couldn't keep up.
When he came to my show, he didn't stand down. I don't know what the fuck. He sat down the whole time.
It was still a cool show. I think that was the very first time. It was okay. Like, I thought I was going to get booed. I, like, fucking went to sleep every night. Like, bro, I was just like, this was my mindset. How you going to handle this shit after they boo your ass? Like, what's your next move?
You got to shoot
I was already
everybody.
planning that shit out.
You gonna dance.
You got to shoot everybody. You niggas ain't laughing. Come on. Baby, pull the car around. I'm about to shoot these niggas.
But it happened.
You gonna laugh or you gonna cry?
Yeah.
Right. It went cool. People showed you hella love, and you had hella people come out to see you.
I was about to say, the
that.
first show we did, though, like, what really made me nervous is because, like, being known on Facebook for roasting people, me and my boy Lavelle, like, we was doing our first
Shout out to
stand-ups
Bill.
ever on that show.
Yeah.
Right.
So, literally, like, man, as long as this table, probably double this table, nobody was right there. So I basically performed in front of nobody in the front because nobody wanted me to talk about it. I wasn't even coming like that, though. I actually wrote my shit, you know what I mean? But nobody sat there, so I really ain't had no interaction up close, and that was like kind of cool, though, too.
And that's what people do
man.
now. So it's the reverse now. So for me, I used to roast people because I didn't have as much material. So when I come out, I'd be like, oh, look at this couple here. Boy, you look like the last Crip in Kansas City. And what started happening, they wouldn't know I was on the show, or it might be. And then they'd be like, coming to the stage, Bobby J. And you see, oh, shit. And they start moving to the back. You know what I'm saying? Like, they'll move.
Get them drinks. Get them drinks.
Yeah. So
I loved it.
But now, if somebody says, come, Bobby J, and then people start moving up now, it's different because I'm mature, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, so I remember that. It was crazy. But
hey, you know the sad thing? I probably know most of your jokes, man.
Yeah,
Like I would literally go to a show just to see your ass perform. Like, and I wrote my jokes the same way.
Really?
Like, I would
That's
write
good.
my jokes in a form where like I knew your whole set. Like you would get up and you would go in the crowd and you would work the room.
Yeah.
And I thought that shit was so cool, like how you would work the room. Because people want you to talk about them.
Yeah,
and you come in and start talking about people. And the thing about it is that some of the jokes that you would do on different crowds. And I'm like, this nigga is a genius.
Yeah.
Like, as soon as I get on stage, I'm going in at the crowd too. And that's how I used to do
There
it,
you
bro.
go. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a format. Nobody owns a format. It's just figuring out how to deliver it.
Yeah.
You can tell your story and just deliver it in a way that it's a setup to where people understand it. Because for me, I've always told myself, when I'm about to go out on stage, time to have some fun.
Yeah.
That changes your mentality so quick. You can be down. You can be like, man, this crowd ain't really that. And then when you tell yourself, time to have some fun, and then you walk out on stage and you're in the mode to have fun. Now all of a sudden, you like, man, I feel good. And it could be 13 people in the crowd. At Kevin's show a couple weeks ago, it was a Friday night show. It was maybe a dozen people in there. And when I tell you, it felt like it was 200 people in there.
Man, that's a dope show.
It was dope because it was intimate, and I'm bringing all the people into this because I like to do crowd work too, and I will talk about you and then bring you in the joke later in the show.
Yeah, that's the beauty.
Yeah, so it was, man, it was like, wow, this was dope.
Do you like when I don't perform as much anymore, but when I used to perform, I would be at the Improv and I used to be sweating, like sweating bullets, and I had to go take a shit like every 5 minutes, man. Like I just could not handle it. Like I'm just so like my anxiety is going crazy. Like I'm about to die before I go on stage, and then when I finally go on stage and that first joke hit, all that
drops.
is released. It's like, oh, we about to get in this shit. You know? You ever feel that way now, or did you used to?
So yes, and before that show, I had to take a shit.
Really?
Literally. It's because everything.
All these emotions, man.
But I remember when I asked Cat Williams, I said, "Man, you ask him the same thing."
Yeah.
And he said, "Well, if you're not nervous, then you're gonna go up there and you're gonna think you the shit and you're gonna fuck up. But when you are nervous, you try harder. You go up there and you're more careful about what you do, and you actually give a shit." And I was like, damn, that's a good, because you see them comics, they be like, I'm about to kill this shit. I'm about to go up there, and you be like, all right, go kill it. And they get up there, and that first joke, they be like, so yeah, man, it's crazy out here, dog. You know what I'm saying?
Woo, that's a tough one right there.
I've seen, matter of fact,
that makes me sad.
If I'm not mistaken, it was the last show I went when you was on there. It was some dude from out of town. It was a couple of dudes. It was like three. It seemed like it was like 3 or 4 features that night. Three of them was hilarious. It was one dude I remember like it was yesterday, had on a white tee, and like a North Carolina hat or some college hat. Dude was fucking terrible. Like every once in a while he get a sympathy laugh. Like he never got a real organic laugh. It was on that same show because we wasn't going out that much. And man, I was looking like, bro, I wonder how the fuck that feel. I never want to experience that. I will always work my shit out. Like if I get up there, like of course I ain't ran through no comedy clubs and tested it, but like it got to go through my rigorous process. I'm not getting up there, bro, unprepared. And
you got to
like
do it because if you feel it, you know that feeling you don't want to feel anymore. You know what I'm saying? Because I remember when the last time I did the show and I talked about getting booed, and I didn't get booed because of my material. I just got booed because they was tired of seeing new acts come up.
Yeah.
I told you that at the UMKC, right?
Yeah. I think you
Did he? I don't know. I smoke.
No, I didn't see that. I didn't hear about it.
Smoking then.
So
I smoke them now.
So it was.
I just don't remember.
Yeah, I'll tell you. So real quick, it was a college step show, and it was a college step show, and this was probably this was 2010. No, it wasn't 2010. It was like 2008, because Jay was still alive.
Mm-hmm.
So about 2008, and there was a step show, and it was a Black Greek step show. So they tell Black Greeks, hey, you got 12 minutes to do your set, and then you're done. Mm-hmm. And they all did like 25, 30 minutes.
Damn.
So I told the dude, Jonathan, I was like, yo, John, bring up Jay, bring up me, and then we can start the step show. Mm-hmm. It was 700 people there. He was like, all right, cool. So then the show about to start. He's like, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring Jay up, bring on, few acts, like few sororities and fraternities, and then you're going to go into intermission, after intermission.
It don't work like that.
And I was like, okay, man, as I've done this before. I started in college. So I was like, man, all right, cool. So it was act after act. After act. So by this time, it's probably 11 o'clock. People got there about 7:30.
Oh, man.
So Jay went up. Jay went home. He was like, all right, man, I'll holler at you, bro. Kill it, man. I'm like, all right. So I'm in the back sleep. I literally was asleep.
Fuck.
So dude was like, in this time, I was just getting my footing here in Kansas City. So I was like, he was like, man, we about to bring you up. And I was just about to leave, too, because I was like, you know what, forget it. So he was like, I'm about to bring you up now. What you want me to say? I'm like, man, just say I'm Kansas City and whatever. So
yeah.
he was like, all right, y'all.
Whatever, man. I'm sleepy, nigga. Goddamn.
Yeah. Like, so you had these acts that went on for 3 hours. And he brings me on. And I remember the song was 50 Cent. I can't remember the name of it. But I had a joke to go with that. So when he brought me on, he played the wrong 50 Cent song. And it was like, light the fire, something. It was like slow. And I'm like, dang, this ain't the right song.
Right.
So I remember walking out there, and I'm like, what's up, Kansas City? And they was like, boo!
Damn.
I didn't tell one joke. I didn't get a joke out. So I'm like, man, what the hell, So I'm like, and I'm trying to start getting into my jokes. I'm like, all right, cool, But I understood they were tired. They were just
I'd have walked right the fuck out.
Absolutely.
That's what the shit we did left.
Yeah, so again, I never told one joke, and then I just walked off. Mm-hmm. And here's the problem. So when you start off downhill, it's just hard. So I was like, I'm about to go back out there. Mm-hmm. Dude got the DJ. I was like, man, you played the wrong song. He was like, oh, my bad. He's like, I was like, man, just reintroduce me. So then he played the right song and brought me, and I came back out, but I wasn't introduced. And they start booing again. And then I was like, dang.
Nigga, you back out here.
Yeah.
I thought we got rid of you the first time.
Yeah.
We got rid of your ass.
Hey, you know a nigga awkward when he come out like that.
Yeah. Look. That was it.
Hold on, hear me out.
That was it. So, yeah. Look. Man, the lights it was slow motion. The lights was moving different. And the crowd, I could literally see people's faces.
That's scary.
I remember, if I seen this one bitch, I'm going to punch her ass. She was laughing too hard. She was laughing, and she rolled over in the crowd like this, and she was like, and I almost fell out. I was like, oh, my God. She is laughing too hard.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, it was, at that point, I quit. I quit. I did quit.
No shit.
Yeah, because I felt like the whole city was 750 people. I felt like the whole city was there. This just played on every TV at the time. So I was like, I quit. Man. And I remember being in the house, and my girlfriend at the time, I think I was in the house for 2 weeks with my underwear on. Look, I was musty there.
Fuck
I
this.
felt like every car that drove by knew where I
lived. It just wasn't bad.
Yeah.
Wasn't good at all.
I had to braid them up.
Doritos and shit.
Yeah. Man, I quit, bro. And I remember it felt like every car that drove by, they knew I lived there or whatever. So I'm peeking through the blinds, and it's just there go Bobby J house right there. Nobody knew where I lived, but it felt personal. You know what I'm saying?
See a bus outside. These motherfuckers that went too far.
So this is Bobby J's house.
They got bombing comics to it. We gonna pick you up down the Pine Lane. We gonna roll through Bobby J house, man. But what happened is, I don't know if you've ever heard the driving joke. It's a joke where the music was going, and I don't do it anymore, so I can tell it. But it's a universal joke that I can tell anywhere, because police, the way they are, not in terms of brutality, but police in every city are perceived bad when you driving, like, oh, they're gonna pull you over. So I always ask people, man, what's the bad county where police always pull you over? They be like, and they'll be like, Cole County or whatever. I'm like, all right, cool. So when I bring it up at the show, that used to be my closing joke, and I used to get a standing ovation off this. Mm-hmm. So what I would do, I'd be like, yeah, what's y'all police here, and they crazy, whatever. I'm like, I heard about Cole County. They be like, oh shit, yeah, Cole County police. Right. They don't play. You go a mile over, you going to jail. So I talk about that, and then I'm like, but you ever had the police get behind you and feel like you got a shit? So so what I do, I'll be like, DJ, hit it. So I'm sitting down in the car, and then the DJ will play it, and it was just a loop. It was just a track. So you hear the car starting up. So it's just you. So I'm acting it out. It's timed. I've done this so many times. So I'm starting the car up, and then I put it in drive. Then I'm driving. And then the music cut on, so I reach to the radio, and then it's like whatever the newest song is. So we drive and boom, 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 and the crowd like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. And then you hear what? And then the police get behind you, and I'm like, oh shit. And then I reach, and I've had it timed out perfectly, so I turn it down, and the music dims, and then you hear whoop whoop, and I'm like, oh shit. So then you hear Chariots of Fire. And this is the song. It's in a lot of movies, and it's like dun, 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 like that. So it's me moving in slow motion. So I'm doing everything. So I reach for the wheel, and then I adjust the mirror, and then I reach for the seatbelt or whatever. And it's just like a whole joke. And then what happens? You hear the police drive by, and then I get bad again. I turn the radio, and the music come up. I'm like, yeah, you bitch ass niggas. I wasn't scared of y'all, but I used to do it, but I would get a standing on that joke. But that's just one of them ones, like, man, it just felt good to have that type of material. But I wrote that joke after I bombed, and I just came out killing after that. Yeah,
sometimes it takes
You
that.
needed that.
You needed that. You needed to come back after that shit.
You needed them to boo you 2 times. It was you again.
Then they came back out like,
please, y'all, please, just... Let me tell you, all right.
Just give me a chance.
Nigga stuck his arm around the curtain. Yeah. About to come out, y'all.
That's his arm. That's his arm.
Calm down a little bit. Calm down.
I think my dumb ass said, that's my time.
Hey, y'all, nigga, his arm. Boo.
Hurry up and get his ass.
That's my time.
Yeah.
Bobby J.
Look at that nigga's arm, y'all.
Yeah. Boy, Randy Watson, that one, boy.
That fool dropped that mic. Okay, I got to get your list, though. Before this is over. So, Okay, so we asked everyone who comes your top 5 comedians and your top 5 movies. So we try to do funny movies.
Yeah, we want to do comedy movies. Yeah, we can stick to it. But if not, throw a curveball in there.
Okay, top 5 comedians and top 5 comedy movies.
Yep. Yes.
Yeah.
All right, so number 1 will be Eddie Murphy because of his creative.
He is just always on top.
Eddie be killing these lists.
Eddie be killing these lists.
Eddie did his special at like 23 years old. People don't understand that.
I did not know that.
Yeah, he did that at like 23 years old.
Raw is still funny.
I never even thought to look it up and see how old he was.
Yeah, so he was young. So imagine a 23-year-old today with that type of, impactful special. And he did this when there wasn't much influence around, because there was still, Red Fox and Richard Pryor and them was still around then. But this dude was 23, and he made it like hip hop, rock and roll, like a rock star, not rock and roll, but rock star with comedy. So that was just amazing to see. So, and then the movies, like the dude is just. Man, he's phenomenal, man.
One of these days we're gonna interview that nigga. I'm not bullshit.
Hey, speaking
that would be the pinnacle.
Man.
Him and Dave Chappelle, bro. I don't know what the fuck I would do.
Yeah, absolutely.
Bow Wow and Lil Romeo.
I need ice. Like, give me some ice. I'm sweating. Give me ice.
Right.
Tasha go upstairs right here with a fucking cooler fan. That shit is just gonna be dope, bro.
Hey, Rob, they talked over me, but you heard it.
What?
Make sure you put it in there.
I heard it.
You make sure you put that in there.
I ain't hear shit. What he say?
It's slipping in there.
He said him and.
Yeah, put a
See,
snippet in there.
and Lil Bow Wow.
Lil Bow Wow.
Hey,
We're not
Romeo.
gonna get into this shit. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead, brother.
Hey, if you know Lil Bow Wow, I've been telling every person this.
Yeah.
If you can get Lil Bow Wow, Lil Romeo here, tell them I will pay them out of my pocket. Out of my fucking pocket for an interview. We got to settle this shit with Ron.
We have a versus battle on this motherfucker.
Yeah, that's what Ron said.
I fucks with Lil Bow Wow, but on your list.
Okay.
Don't get on past. On your list.
Go to your list, man.
Yeah.
It's about that list, though.
Bobby J said, he dope.
Go
No,
ahead,
but
go
he is
ahead.
dope. Okay. Your second comedian.
Number 2, I'm gonna give you an order. So Eddie, number 2 would definitely be Sinbad.
Ooh.
There we go.
Yeah.
Has he ever been on this list?
That's love, bro. That's the biggest. Sinbad is so underrated, bro. I don't know.
Yeah.
I watched the. Hey, I got to cut you out real quick just to send him some love. I don't know the damn name of this special. Hour and a half. This dude walked out on the stage and, like, literally, his laugh per second average was like 4 or 5 seconds, bro.
Damn.
For an hour and 15 minutes. Then this motherfucker pulled out an electric guitar and played the crowd off. I was like, this nigga's amazing.
Yeah.
Like, bro, nobody could touch this.
Yo,
dude.
the way that Sinbad approached the stage, it just seemed like he knew he was fucking supposed to be there. Like every time, like he had a little thing at the beginning, and then he didn't cuss all throughout the show, and he was
no
animated,
curse words at all.
hella animated, and he wore the suits. I mean, the windbreakers, and
windbreakers,
shit.
yeah.
Man,
And
dude.
Sinbad used to be quote unquote the corny dude.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when you listen to what this dude is saying, it's real shit all the way through.
Yeah.
Like the whole hour and 15 minutes. I have no idea how he got that label.
Yeah.
Like, man, bro, the dude's amazing.
Big ups on Sinbad.
He was the first comedian I ever seen. Because
Really?
I remember being in like 6th grade, and I remember being in my grandma's house, and it just came on TV, like HBO. And he did a special because he was at a university. I don't know if it was like Morehouse or something, but he was on the campus cracking on everybody, and that was the beginning of it. And then he did it in like their auditorium at their school, and he was talking about like, it sounded like my family, and I had never heard. And I was on the ground, I couldn't breathe. My brother had to come save me because he had to drag me out because he came with his friend.
Yeah.
But I'm on the ground in tears. And he was talking about, he's like, you asked your mom for some McDonald's, and she was like, we got all that at home or whatever, and whatever. And then he was talking about when people go to McDonald's and they be like, give me
Like, you been here before?
You're like, you know what you want. Like, it was just so funny to me, and I was just in tears. But I got to meet him, and him telling stories. Like, if you get him here,
Oh my fucking
oh
god.
my god, the stories, I've never heard anybody funnier than this dude just telling stories. And he started in Kansas City.
No,
people don't know that. Yeah,
I didn't know that.
yeah,
What the fuck?
Yes, he was here in the early 80s, and it was a room here, but he would go to different rooms. He said he'd drive his little Yugo through the country and just hit clubs up and do his comedy. And he told me stories like, I don't know if he ever told it, but if I ever see him again, like, I'm going to tell him the story he told me about. He was at some club, and he was like, he saw this old dude in the back, and he was like walking up to the stage. It was like an old school club, and he was telling his jokes, but he didn't know if he was really that funny. And he said he kept seeing the old dude walk up, and he was like, man, I'm gonna have to fuck this old nigga. Now Sinbad does cuss, but he doesn't cuss but he cusses in person. But he was like, I'm gonna have to fuck this dude up or whatever. And he kept seeing him, and he's telling his jokes, and he said the old dude finally got up to the stage, and he's like, man, this nigga about to pull out a pistol on me. And he said all the dude did was, nigga, you funny. And then he just walked back or whatever. But he just tells these stories, and I'm like, oh my God. And I knew that because he would go through Stanfords and stuff like that. But he broke it down, and it was just like, man, it was amazing. So but yeah, that's number 2.
Number 2.
Strong
2.
Yeah, so Damon Wayans is number 3.
Ooh,
Yeah.
that's a good one.
Yeah.
I don't think we've ever had that one in the list.
Damon Wayans is just, he's on, to me, he's like on the level like Eddie Murphy in a sense. When he did the comedy, then he did the movies, and he brings his thoughts out, and he created characters. And that was just the part that I was like, man, this dude is just more than a comedian. And that's how he's kept, like, he did the Major Pain and all this stuff. And he had actually he brought that in. I don't know if any of y'all went to the show we did this, it was like February or March this year. But the way Damon Wayans is with the Blank Mans, and he's taking these risks, and it's just, man, it was just amazing. So when I got to work with him, it was like, whoa, this dude is real. Like, you know, then we sat after the show and we talked, and he gave me his number, and he was just giving me some gems. He was dropping them gems. So, you know, he put a battery in my back for comedy or whatever.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah. Number 4, Tony Rock.
Tony Rock.
I gotta know why. That's dope though.
Dude,
I gotta know why. I gotta hear this.
Yeah, y'all watched Tony Rock before?
Yeah.
Dude, Tony Rock. Oh, go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Tony Rock has like an endless endless bag, dude. Like he can just go on and on and on and on and never get fucking tired. And they all will be hitting. It's like, nigga, how you get all these jokes?
Who you stealing all of this shit from?
You making me mad, dude. You got all of these
That's
jokes.
how Sinbad is, though. Like, bro.
This dude on the whole. I mean, like Sinbad is
I would have
good,
to see him.
This dude.
I would have to see that because, boy,
It's
that's
like
a
this.
high bar.
Yeah.
It's like this, dude. Every time I seen him perform, it's just like,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm sorry. Go ahead, bro.
No,
Tony
I
Rock
agree.
is legit.
So Tony,
You
that's
got
my
hype on that.
dog, and Tony is one of the smartest, hardest working comedians ever. I mean, this dude is just he just has no fear, and he doesn't get the credit he deserves. And not just saying it because he's giving me opportunities, but like, so I remember we was working at the Improv, and their cash register system went down, so like you couldn't swipe any cards. So they told me, hey, tell him to keep going. We need to get our card system up. So it's the end of the night. It's the late show. By now it's about midnight. So they trying to get the card system working, and still trying. And he was like, do I keep going? And when he was going, he was boom, boom, just joke after joke, killing him. 20 minutes in. Do I keep going? All right, cool. Boom, boom. He's talking about, he's just telling so many jokes. And I'm like, oh my God, 45 minutes of extra. So he already did about an hour and 20. So this dude did about 2 hours and 15 minutes of nonstop hilarity. Like this dude was banging it, and I was like, "Oh my God!" Like this
in
is
his
amazing.
bag. It's so crazy
When they
how
say
you put it
in
out.
your bag, that was an in your bag night, and this dude didn't stumble. And when it was over, he got a standing ovation because you don't see standing O's much anymore. But he got a standing O just for the fact that these people were waiting to pay. Because usually at the end of the night, you're tired, you're sleepy. He held it down until then because had they asked me, I'm like, all right, cool. But it wouldn't have been to that level. I just would have been like, yeah, so what you do for a living?
Yeah,
you know
after a while.
Yeah, so you got to start doing crowd work. What you do for a living? You do, okay. And
that nigga be like, look, I met a big bitch the other day. She was huffing and puffing on Christmas. You be like, God damn, this nigga still going.
Still going, yeah.
Still fucking going.
And he was killing it. I mean, it was so electric. It was so hot in that club because people don't understand with comedy, when it's hot in the club, it's the electricity, like it's body heat, everybody laughing. And when you walk in there, it's just, especially if you're a comic and you're not on the show, you'd be like itching, like, man, I want to get up there. It's just, but that dude has, look, he a good dude too. You know what I'm saying? So that's my number 4 right there.
What we got on 5? Who you got?
Good one.
Number 5 will be Some More. Yeah. Some More, people don't give. Some More has reinvented herself so many times. There isn't a female comic that can stand up to Some More, and she really don't get the credit she deserves. Not because she put me on Comic View, but
I was saying she to put you on some shit.
Yeah.
I just seen Some More.
Female comics to me don't get the credit they deserve. Period. To me.
Yeah, but she's a
I agree
person.
with that one.
If you go to her show, you're gonna laugh the whole night.
And
then if you compare her to a dude comic, she's got more laughs because she constantly writes. And people don't understand. And it is a little biased because I've got to be beside her and write for her and see how she functions. So that I had a new respect for her, because had I not, I wouldn't have been as understanding of the greatness of Some More. You know what I'm saying? Plus she gives other people's opportunities too. So, but that's my top 5 right there.
Okay,
that's
movies.
dope. That's a dope top 5. That was different. Like
that was different.
It started off like Eddie Murphy, then it just went to a whole unique level. I like that.
Yeah, it's like a top 5 and it's with like a lesson rap there.
Yeah, it was
comedy lesson.
Sinbad. Well, that was a good pick. Tony Roberts and Sinbad was. I'm not Tony Roberts.
I gotta ask one question before you tell us your movies, man. Why do you think it's so hard for a female to just come up and just like kill the stage? Do you think? Let me reorder this question. Do you think it's possible for a female to come out, work her shit the fuck out, hone her craft, and just kill stages all over the place and like become as big as a male comic? I think sell out stadiums and stuff like that.
I think you should rephrase the question to a African American female, because I see white females.
Well, yeah, that is better. Yeah,
on Netflix. So
I'm gonna say no, just simply because of the sexism. With seeing somebody in a great position that you want to be in.
Yeah.
Because when people see themselves in a position, they don't want you to have it. And especially, like, we didn't want a female president. That's the biggest thing that hurt Hillary. Regardless of anything else, the country wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
So when you think of a black woman comedian, they've had their heydays, but it hasn't been the same as men. And I think with men and like our satire and stuff like that, we can go a little bit further than women, because with women, it'll be a lot of dick jokes and stuff like that, and relationship jokes. But their jokes aren't as like, this is what I did last week in my day. It's like, girl, you see these niggas out here with these little crooked penises, and you got to peel the skin back, and they be lint and shit. You got like, that's the extent of, but it isn't. The reason it's like that is because where they work out their material.
Yeah.
So right now, if Comic View came back, nobody would be ready unless you're like a cornball black comic or whatever, because we are back in the clubs frying chicken downstairs and fish and stuff, and it's a bunch of niggas in there. So our comedy is back to nigga versus saying, hey, I'm preparing my set for television when that time does come. So when you look at the opportunities that women get below the radar, it's not many. It's going to be in them types of clubs, because what I've been fighting for, and I swear to God, is when a Samore or a Dale Givens or Monique, they come to Kansas City, and you see a Janelle Banks or a Sean Hill or Miss Q, they should be opening up, not me.
Yeah. Right.
You see what I'm saying? So they're not giving them opportunities because I don't know why. But it's a little bit of understanding I don't get, because I'm not really in the picture. But I see it's unfair. That's just all I can say about it. So, because there's some funny women, you know, it's some
real funny.
I would never want to follow because they just raw, but the opportunities where they're working out, they got to make that crowd laugh. So that's the kind of comedy they're going to do, because they're not getting those commercial opportunities like the Improvs and Funny Bones and Looney Bins. They're getting, you know, the nigga nights and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay.
And shout out to Janelle. I don't know the other two. I need to look them up. But shout out to Janelle, because she be working.
Yeah, Janelle work her ass out.
Shout out to Janelle Banks, man.
Everywhere.
She'll be on pretty soon if she got time.
Right. She used to be on. She came to a couple, right?
Yeah.
A couple of ones
before she blew
kitchen.
up. I ain't heard from her in a while.
She be in New York. I think she in Texas right now, something like that. Like,
she don't call no more.
She really don't. But she helped.
Nigga, I'm out here on the road working shit out.
But she helped me get some plants though. Some plants for free. So shout out to her.
All right, let's see these top 5 movies.
Top 5 comedy movies.
Uh-oh, this is about to be good.
Number 1 comedy.
Here we go.
My number 1 will have to be Life.
Life.
Okay, that is on the list.
Eddie Murphy, man.
Yeah.
Life.
That just had so much. When you watch it, I watch the background. Like, I watch it to watch the background and stuff.
You know what? You're right. I do that too.
Yeah. So
notice something new all the time.
Every time.
You be like, look at Jangalang in the back and doing this, and this had nothing. Because what people don't know with Eddie Murphy, if you watch every one of his movies, people may not have caught it. Just if you watch, it don't matter if it's the clumps, whatever. It's always a scene where somebody in the back yell. That's usually his voice, like, "Hey, motherfucker!" Like, you hear it, you don't catch it, but people don't know. It be stuff like that, and I'll be like, he's put that in damn near every movie, and people didn't even catch on to it. And it's just in the back, and you hear, "Hey, motherfucker!"
Yeah.
And he just—I don't know why he does it, but that's number 2, Friday.
Uh-oh.
That is on the list. Okay.
All right.
Is that people? That's probably people's first one, though, wouldn't it be?
No.
I think only one other person.
Life
Life is.
Life and
Life
America.
is basically the best one.
Yeah.
Okay. And Friday was just groundbreaking, legendary type of movie that springboarded for a lot of other movies to come behind it. So, yeah, that was just in that. If you did a Friday movie, you became a megastar. So when you take Chris Tucker, he became a megastar, and then you take Mike Epps in 2, he became a megastar, and then if you take Cat Williams in 3, he became a mega star. You know what I'm saying? So that just did so much for people. So yeah, and then number three for me would have to be Hangover.
Oh, there go that white movie.
Yeah, here we go. We didn't even have to ask him for your white movie.
There we go. Every black person got a good.
Gotta have a good white movie.
Oh, that's my white movie after this.
Everybody. No, that's everybody got a white
just
movie.
one.
Yeah.
They be like nigga shit. Shallow Hal.
Shallow Hal. Hey, Shallow Hal, dope though. That's dope.
That was Michael Blackson's movie. I still ain't watched.
Okay.
Shallow
Hal's good.
That's dope.
Good.
Yep.
So yeah, that was a good movie for me. So number 4, Harlem Nights for me, man.
Hell yeah.
That should be for every person that's a comedian. Cause they just put everybody up on.
Everybody was in there, and it wasn't corny. Like when you get the new movies now, like School Dance and them Nick Cannon movies, where it be a bunch of comedians in them, and they be trash, bro.
Yeah.
This one, it was like you play your part,
Yep.
and we're not just going to be trying to get our jokes off. And it was it's just like
nothing was overpowering.
Yeah. So when I see those like you got the How High 2 garbage.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So you see stuff like that and you just like, what? Why they keep I don't watch it because of the artwork with all them people in it. Just hilarious in it and Fat Boy funny in it and I ain't
Fat Boy fresh.
Yeah, so I can't watch all this stuff. So
yeah.
So what I got 4?
Yep. You got one more.
Comedy.
What was you watching after they booed you and you was sitting in the house for 2 weeks?
Shit, I wouldn't
He
watch.
was watching Rocky, goddammit. Watching him run up them steps. Like that nigga was coming back.
Yeah, I was watching Young and the Restless. I didn't want nothing.
Shout out to
I only
Victor.
want to let it hurt when I laugh.
Shout out to Victor Newman.
Yeah, I just wanted to cry.
I don't care. Everybody rap for Victor.
Yeah, I was playing Mary J. Blige. I was in there. Yeah. I didn't care about nothing. Like, these niggas out here ain't nothing.
That's funny.
I'm glad you didn't give up, though.
Nah, man. I had to come back, though. But number 5 would have to be... man, y'all gonna hate me for this one, bro.
Uh-oh.
So, it's a tie between Anchorman and Bowfinger.
Bowfinger.
He's got 2.
I could never get into
Bowfinger.
Bowfinger. I couldn't.
I don't know what it was about Bowfinger.
I don't know why. I love that.
First of all, the name, like, that kind of threw me off.
You gotta pick one.
Anchorman.
Or take one up.
Anchorman,
okay.
yeah.
Because that's what Eddie Murphy in it and the dude from 19 Keys or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's supposed to be an actor playing the act, playing 2 different parts.
So Eddie Murphy's 2 people in
Steve
there.
Martin. I'm sorry, I just got his
Martin,
name.
yeah.
Sorry.
And didn't know he's in a movie. So they're trying to put him in these scenes. It's a genius because, again, it's a bias.
So the concept is dope.
Yeah.
I got to rewatch that.
Yeah, so he doesn't know he's in the movie.
Right.
So, yeah. So that's my 5.
But the other one, what was the 5th one?
Anchorman.
Anchorman.
Yeah, I would say Anchorman.
Yeah, Anchorman
I love
was dope.
Anchorman.
Anchorman was one of those ones.
No, fun fact, I have to say this. Paula J. Parker was the one who played as the girlfriend who was sleeping with the other dude, Ice Cube's girlfriend in Friday. She did at that time. She did Friday, and she was also doing what was the black scary movie? It was they were doing Tales from the Hood.
Tales from the Hood.
She did
okay.
Tales from the Hood, and she had both of those at the same
At
time
the
and didn't
same
want to
time.
turn any of them down. So they had to keep rebraiding her hair every 2 days. Because she had to play this other role. You know, this is before they turned wigs into braids.
Yeah.
But they had to really keep rebraiding her like every other day or every 2 days so she can do one and go back and film the other one.
Let me say her
Okay.
face. This is the same chick that was on Def Jam. This is Felicia?
No, not Felicia. That's the one who
okay.
I
Felicia,
love,
people
I
don't know
love
that,
your
but
mama.
Felicia is a real comedian.
Yeah,
she was
is.
on Def Jam.
Yeah.
I was like,
I don't
what?
remember that.
Yeah, most people don't remember that. And she looked like dingy as hell on there. She don't look nothing like Felicia.
She owns a vegan restaurant in L.A.
Oh, shout out to
She's
her.
still
Shit.
out there. Yeah.
That's Paula J.
Hey, Felicia. I felt good saying that.
Hey, Felicia.
My wife be looking like the girlfriend too. Like, now tell me who she was. She be getting her braids in, boy. I don't know her. She got like 7 different names. Like, before you come in this house, who the fuck are you today? I need to know how to shift my energy. What are we doing today?
Need to find out who in there.
Some days you want to eat a Cheesecake Factory. Some days you want a 2-piece from Churches. I don't know.
It be like that.
Depending on the hairstyle. You know what I mean? Yeah. When she got her low hairstyle, like bring her a 3-piece and a biscuit from Go Chicken Go. She good. You know.
Do you be dancing when you get it?
Right. She be.
No,
man, before we go anywhere though, we got a couple of questions for you. We got to throw at you, man. We got to know what's coming up next for Bobby J. What is Bobby J doing right the fuck now? Because I know you don't post a lot no more. We know you ain't never in the city. So one thing I gotta congratulate you on is still working, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because we know every time, like I'll text you, might hit me back in 2 days, but I know you traveling getting your shit done.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
What's Bobby J up to? What he been up to? What he got going on? What's coming in the future, bro? What can we expect?
Writing and movies. So I'm definitely going to do directing. I've been writing scripts, and that's my next move. I'm going to be behind in front of the camera too, but I think I have something to offer the industry. There's something missing, and I feel like I can fill that void. So I'm definitely writing, still performing, but my thing is shooting my own films, and I want to get them in film festivals. Some of them I just want to bring to, like, I do want to get my ideas out there and then build that name to where when people say, oh my God, this is the new Spike Lee or, you know, whoever. And then now it's funding itself. Now I got something back at me. You know what I'm saying? But at this point, this is about doing movies. And I got some dope ideas, man.
Man, that's so we can't wait to see him, bro.
I can't wait to be in them. You know what I mean? I'm going to just... I slide shit in there like that. I'm that nigga. Yeah, bro, we shooting movies. I just talked to Bobby J, bro.
We talked about it.
We probably shooting movies and shit. I don't know.
Like, he over there shooting now.
Where you are? You over there, man? That ain't my
part.
All
you need to know is that movies is coming, nigga.
Right.
Don't worry about nothing
else.
And also, me and my wife, we got our business about to take off. We doing so.
Whoop whoop.
That's what's up, man.
Yeah, it's actually a
clap for the business for the black.
I was waiting on the punchline. I was waiting on the business. Okay, congratulations.
It did kind of seem like a setup though, like you know what I mean, like that was more like.
I was waiting.
No, you say black business, we supposed to be on it.
My
like
bad.
hell yeah. I don't
Hey, she could be selling some shit that we ain't into.
Yeah,
we gotta.
We don't know what the fuck they selling.
Listen.
Right. We selling tummy teas and stuff, you know.
Then I definitely gotta be like, look.
No, we in the healthcare business, and
dope.
With her, she's a medical professional. She's a registered nurse, and
This nigga done got him an RN.
Oh shit!
Go in with your bad self. That nigga done grew up from the CNAs to an RN.
I did, boy.
I see you, Bobby.
I got
Yeah, we look up to you, bro.
Hey, I see your nephew.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
You got yourself an RN now, nigga. Go ahead, boy.
Go ahead,
Go ahead, boy.
Go ahead and tell us what business y'all starting.
So it's a home health agency, actually, and it's a definite need. So we're going to hire people to come out because right now with COVID and you sending your family members into facilities, you can't visit them and stuff like that. So it's best to just bring that into the house so we have nurses and people come out and stuff like that. So we will be the hiring firm for that.
Do you hire?
You
hire CNAs?
Listen, CNAs, y'all. What camera is it right here? I'm sorry about what I said to y'all.
They at your head.
Look. Cause we
Get
know,
a close up.
Hey, they said you gonna need us, nigga.
They said you gonna need us. So look, CNAs, this is my look, I'm sorry. Yeah.
Yo, tell them man you sorry.
CNAs, I'm sorry, y'all. I know I made fun of y'all for getting y'all certifications on Facebook quizzes. That's how you became a CNA, but I'm sorry. I'm going to need y'all. So if you want to hit us up, look up Golden Life In-Home Services. That's the company. And
Golden Life.
If you need a job, hit us up.
There you go.
I know your ass. I might need a job in case this shit don't work out.
I stubbed my toe. I called the CNAs.
Yeah.
You gonna really need them.
We ain't shooting today. I'm gonna be with Bobby J.
Right.
I got 2 clients.
I'm cleaning up for a room or something. I don't know what I'm doing.
That's good, though. Shout out to y'all.
Yeah.
Hey, not only shout out to the business, but congratulations, microphone popping and shit. Congratulations on the wedding.
Whoop, 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 whoop.
I hope your wife no, I'm just playing. But look, she got a plan for now. Bro, y'all are so dope. I looked at the pictures and shit on Facebook. It was real good. Man, it's good to see us do shit like that.
Black love.
Wearing all white and shit. I ain't never seen more than two black people with all white on. That was so fucking beautiful.
Yeah, I wanted to do it different because
they had shoes or socks on and shit was wonderful.
Yeah, we had flip flops on and they had the
brown joints.
Yeah, I had on the flip flops, and then they were barefoot, but they had these jewels on their feet that looked like what was they called? Bottomless sandals. So they were like you if you look close in the pictures, the women had them on. So it looked like a sandal, but it was like jewels or something going up their leg. But we did it in San Diego. And of course, with COVID happening, we were supposed to get married in the Bahamas, and we had like 30-something people. I want to be. This is how famous I want to be. I want to be famous to the point where you know how niggas look out in the crowd or the niggas is with them. Like, what we do yesterday? Yeah, we went.
Right.
I want to be that nigga. Yeah, yesterday. Right.
Best nigga to be.
It wasn't the day before. It was yesterday. Yeah, okay. Yeah, thank you. This is a nigga carrying my bags right here. But
I'm gonna just start bringing people on the interview. Y'all want me to know something? Bring 6 people for no fucking reason.
Yeah,
absolutely. 2 of them gonna be big as hell.
I'll be like, you don't even know them niggas. Where you find these people?
Yeah,
find these niggas at the temp service.
No, before
got an interview.
Right. Before you got married, I see you at the juke house. In the Jeep, right? And then you had came into the juke house, and this nigga was like, "Hey, tell your girl you coming with me next weekend." He was like, "I'm getting you a ticket. You coming to me." You had a bachelor party. Did you ever have it?
Yeah, we did.
Was it in L.A.?
No, it was here.
It was here?
Yeah.
I could have came then.
Yeah, absolutely.
They didn't want you there, Cortez.
That nigga was trying to fly me out. That nigga said, "I'm gonna get you a plane ticket."
Hey, Bobby J.
It was supposed to be in Vegas.
Bobby J did that shit to him like he do to the people who be asking to come to the show. He said, give me 2 months after you married. Give me 2 months.
Yeah.
We gonna have it at
Right.
when you touch your face, we gonna have it at I'm gonna just call you. I'm gonna
call you. Don't call me, I'll call you.
Hey, y'all don't invite nobody that know Cortez. She can't know this shit going down.
That nigga was like, "Yo, hey, call me tonight. No, call me tomorrow. I promise you, I'm gonna buy you a ticket. You ain't gotta worry about shit." And I'm looking at this nigga like, I ain't calling this nigga. Hey, it's the worst thing to do is call a person and they don't remember the shit they said.
Yeah, exactly.
You got drunk and shit. Talk about I'm gonna go ahead and put you in first class.
You remember you had said,
yeah.
Like, nigga, what?
No, we supposed to go to.
You remember all that love you showed me? All that love? You forgot about that?
He was like, "Man, they done shut the whole city down. I can't even invite you, man."
This COVID shit
I ain't gonna tell you about the new players, though. I ain't gonna tell you about the new players.
So COVID shit crazy, bro.
Well,
crazy.
So this is what happened. We ended up canceling. We ended up canceling, so we had to cancel because we had to cancel our trip to the Bahamas because we had like 30-something people coming.
Yeah, I was gonna be there.
And
whatever.
You wasn't, but
so then that canceled. Then we were supposed to do it another time, and then we was like, you know what, we're just gonna do a small one in San Diego. And we were supposed to they're supposed to go to Miami for the bachelorette party. We was going to Vegas, and literally like up until about that point we ended up canceling. And what happened, shit, it was like a Saturday, a Friday. They came and surprised me. My boys came from St. Louis. That's and dope. Stuff, and I went to college with, and they was basically kidnapped me. I didn't have no overnight clothes, nothing, so we just went out and kicked it, and it was a good time.
Oh, that's what's up, bro.
Yeah,
that's what's up.
Yep. Man. But then we went to San Diego, had the wedding, and we went. Nobody knew. Like I said, we went live on Facebook, and then it was like at the very beginning of the wedding, and we were at the Sunset Cliffs or whatever, and we just. I knew I wanted it to be all linen, like white shirts and shorts, and then flip flops, and then theirs was like kind of light dresses and stuff like that.
Yeah. And
it was simple. It wasn't you got to go get fitted at Men's Warehouse and spend $200-$300. It was just fly out here, we take care of this and get a hotel, and that was it, man.
Man, blessings to y'all, man.
Y'all did good. It looked really good. It really did.
Thank you.
They look real good, man. Hey, look, this ain't the first time we had you on the show. Let's not make it the last time.
Absolutely not, sir.
We enjoy having you here, and
Hold on, before we leave.
What else we got?
Well, hey guys, are you just now coming to the podcast?
How is that gonna not be awkward? Go ahead.
It's how it be. Are you just now coming to the podcast? Well, listen here, okay? This is Urban Absurdity, and you can find us on all kind of social platforms: YouTube, Facebook.
We're not helping you out.
TikTok. All of the social networks. Just subscribe and don't forget to press that notification bell on this side. Go ahead. Tell them I did. I'm sorry.
Okay, so now that's over. Horrible.
That was terrible.
Gotta work on that. Just cut that out, Rob. I gotta work on my shit.
Absolutely terrible. Yes, our older shows are on Spotify and iTunes, but if you want to watch us visually, YouTube, there's a bell that you can hit if you want all the content, and when we drop new content, you can just see us, and then it'll ping you and let you know that we're here. Like, comment, share. Definitely comment, because we want to hear what you think about this show, all the other shows. If you have something you want us to talk about, just let us know, and we'll do that.
Man, look here, player. See them buttons up under this video? Hit one of them motherfuckers.
And we're definitely not going to have Ron do it. We're definitely not going to have Ron do it because he tried to choke y'all last time. So we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
We'll see y'all later, man.